Yeah. Why do you get so nervous when you perform? Let's just talk about the reason why. In the previous video, I talked a little bit about what to do about it. But why is it? That's important to know because it's idiotic that we become nervous. It's an old response from way back when you were living in caves and you were absolutely dependent on other people liking you. That's why we get panicked almost when we get on stage, because the brain imagines that if I make mistakes, if I'm not performing, if I'm not playing well, then people are going to mock me and throw me out of the pack, and then I will die. It associates death to failing on stage. That's why we get nervous. People who don't get nervous, or just a little bit tinkling nervous, right, and they actually perform better because they have this heightened awareness, they don't feel like that. So it's possible to feel extremely nervous to the point of debilitating you completely. And it's, the other thing is also possible, and people can go from one to the other. Here's how to go from one to the other, and here's why you get nervous in the first place. That's the reason. We human beings have no claws, we have no fur on our body. I can't run faster than a very small dog, so I'm pretty much, if I lived in nature, right, by myself, in the rainforest or, 100,000 years ago where we had tigers roaming the countryside, right, I would be dead. Literally, I would be dead, because one thing that makes me stronger than any other species on the planet is other people. Because we can communicate so well as human beings, then we can act as one. So suddenly you can have 1,000 people doing the same thing towards the same end, and that's extremely powerful. We can have millions of people actually doing the same thing, working on the same result, and no other species on the planet can do that at the same level as we can. That is your superpower. So the main thing for you is to get food and shelter. But the next thing is that you need, absolutely need, you do not want. It's not something that you would rather have. No, you need it. And if you don't get it, the body thinks it's dead. You need other people. So what other people think, that's why, some people say, yeah, man, don't think so much about what other people think. Well, you're human, so you will, period. Right? It's not like, yeah, I've been working a lot to, not mind what other people think of me so much. But you can never get rid of it because it's instinct. It is hardwired into your nervous system that other people's opinions of you is important. It's also important, and that's something you can work on, who you give that power. Who's part of your pack? Who's part of your group and who's not? Right? Do not give the power to tell you who you are and how good you are and whether you're a worthy human being or not to people who do not deserve to have that kind of power over you. Right? Pick your friends wisely. So, but that's another story. But when we go on stage, what the brain actually does is just go, right? Now you're on stage, everybody's looking at you, it's your time to solo, and if you fail, you die. That's why you get nervous. And that's an old mechanism, right? We can agree on that. You do not die if you fail, right? And the less nervous you are, the less the chance of you actually playing something wrong, right? The less nervous you are, the less fear you have in your body, the greater the chances of you actually performing very well. So what do we call that emotion, that nervousness? It wants you to succeed. It wants you to be part of the group. It wants everybody to think that you're a great guitarist, and it achieves the opposite. That's known as a dysfunction, right? It's a strategy, a methodology, an emotion that's designed to achieve a certain result, keep you in the pack, keep you accepted. And it achieves the opposite thing in this modern world, right? Playing an alien instrument like a guitar, even it's an instrument, it's a piece of technology that we human beings invented. And so that emotion is a lower level old strategy of survival that it then engages in when you're on stage. The reason why I'm telling you this is that you can now say the frontal lobes, which is the logical part of the brain, can now analyze and say, that makes zero sense. Why would I get nervous, right? Why would I get, that's idiotic. But even knowing that that's idiotic and knowing that that's an old response and knowing that that's dysfunctional doesn't make it go away. It's like a kid. You have a kid in like walking down the street with a kid, and the kid goes, I don't want to do it, it's dangerous. But you know it's not dangerous, right? So you can tell the kid all day, it's not dangerous. We can go up to the roller coaster, we can take it, but I don't want to look, right? You can't argue with emotions. It's not possible to some degree, right? But you can only say, it's okay. You can, and this is the trick. Do not resist it. Just say, you can be nervous. It's okay. No problem, right? So if you resist it and say, I'm not nervous, I don't want to be nervous, so go away, right? Then it will just, will increase, right? Like a child you're not listening to. It's just going to keep shouting higher and louder all the time. So what you do is you listen to it and say, yes, I hear you. But no, we're still going to go up there and we're still going to play solos. But my main trick here, you watch the previous video on this. It's called Practicing Ruins Performance. Watch that video. We might have a link to it here on this, right here, right up there, perhaps. But what you need to do is you need to get on stage feeling nervous and saying, this is all right. This is how it is. It's going to disappear gradually. And then what you do is you have a simple alternative to every solo you want to play. Do not get up there trying to impress people. Impress them with your calm. Impress them with the simple solos you play that is based on things you not only master, but it's so easy. You can do it in your sleep. You can do it if you're intoxicated to the point of being almost half unconscious, right? So you play solos like, right? You go like, you play the easiest thing you can possibly imagine. You have a lot of delay. I have a whole course on this. Easy things. It's called From Zero to Pro. So look out for that if you get our emails. But it's just you get to the fundamentals, and then you say that is my foothold. That is my platform that I can stand on, and then have all the tools you need. If you can't remember the set list, if you can't remember the chords, then don't give a hoot about your band members. You simply tape all the freaking songs to the floor, right, on pieces of paper. Do whatever you can to make that as easy as possible, so you can be on stage, feel the nervousness, feel the fear, and do it anyway, right? But support yourself, right? Support yourself. Have some, that inner child, right? Which is the one that's nervous. Just, say, okay, it's okay to be nervous. It's okay we don't perform at the highest level, but we will perform. We will get through this. And then once it's over, once the performance is over, you want to say, what did I do right? And what can I do even better the next time? You want to stay away from any negative, oh man, that solo, that was awful, right? Stay away from that negativity. So you evaluate in the most positive way possible. That's what you would do to a child anyway, right? You would never say, oh, you heard what you did in the second set in that solo? That sounded like crap, man. What an idiot you are. That's how we speak to ourselves. What an idiot you are. It's such a failure. You can't, why don't you just give up playing guitar? And I bet this guy and this guy over here, and then don't look at the audience. That's another thing. When you look at them, make sure you look beyond them, like you were looking into the horizon, but don't look at any particular faces, right? Because I have a huge advantage here. I cannot see you. Because if you look at an audience and you see just one face that goes like that, you go, ah, right? Everybody's cheering, everybody's having a good time, and then you see one person that does that. That ruins your whole night when you're nervous, right? So it takes, and then eventually you'll get over it. The more you play, the more you perform in front of others, the more you teach the child the nervousness that this is not. And the more you don't evaluate negatively. If you evaluate negatively after the concert, you're going to reinforce the nervousness, and you're going to get even more nervous the next time, and it's going to keep haunting you. So you need to be a very, very good friend to that part of you that's nervous. Help it out with all the tools. Lower your standard for how complex your solos need to be, and make sure that you evaluate positively after every single experience you have when you play in front of others. Also, if it's in front of friends, right? Laugh at your own mistakes. Go watch the other video. My name is Claus and I hope to see you in the next video. Please do subscribe. 75% of people who watch these videos are not subscribed. It really means something if you will. So see you in the next video.